Okay, so let's begin. All right, so today we are going to learn about inheritance. Okay, one of the most fundamental object-oriented techniques is inheritance. Okay, it show you how we can use to organize, and also we reuse the classes, and then it also show you the hierarchies of the classes. Okay, so actually, why we need inheritance? We need it because it allows the developer to derive. We can derive a new class from existing one. All right, so we will have parents class and child class. So child class can derive all the methods from the parents class. And then the existing class here we call as the parents class or superclass or base class. Okay, these three terms, don't get confused when if I mention parent class or superclass or base class, these are referring to the same one, which is the parent class. All right, and then the derived class is called the child or subclass. That means the child class or subclass will have access, will have access to the parent class. So, as the name implies, the child inherits the characteristics of the parents. So, since the child can inherit everything from parents, so there are several keywords that you need to use in order to inherit everything from the parents class. I will show you the code later. So that is the child class inherits the methods and data defined in the parents class. So whatever method and whatever data that defined in the parents class can be inherited by the child class. So, so in order to use it, programmer can add a new field or method, and they can even modify or override the inherited ones. Okay, and then this show you that how we can reuse the code. So when we use this inheritance, we can reduce the effort of design, implementations, and testing a new software. Okay, so how are we going to show the relationship graphically in UML class between the parent class and the child class? So we have two class here. We have person class and we have student class. Okay, person here is the parent and student is the child class. And we use the empty arrow pointing to the parent class from the child class. It shows when you use the empty arrow pointing to the parent class, it shows that students is the child and person is the parents. And the relationship between these two classes is a relationship. That means student is a person. It's like that. It's saying that student is child and person is parents. Okay. So in inheritance, we will learn about three keywords today. First, extends. Second is protected. And 3 is super. Okay, first let's take a look at the extends keyword. So we use extends keyword when we want to derive, when we deriving the subclasses. Okay, we want to establish the inheritance relationship. Okay, let's take a look at the code here. We have two classes here. We have class person and then we have class students. Okay, we want to derive the information from class person. So class student extends person. So we use the keyword extends here so that the class student, which is the child class, can get the information from the parents class. And then how we represent the class diagram. Okay, first you show what is included in person class, right? Then string name. And then what is included in the student class. And then the relationship. There is a relationship. And then if you use the extends keyword, so whatever method and whatever parameter from the parents class can be used in students class. You see here, students will get name from person, and get name from the person class. And then shows here all these properties inherited from the person class. So as we already learned, we have different kind of modifiers, right? So each modifier will define the visibility of the method. Okay, so we want to see what is the protected modifier. Okay, you already know about public and private, right? So you already know about public and private, which public is accessible, okay? Is accessible by other classes too. And then private is not, okay? And then now you're going to learn about protected. Okay, how are we going to use protected in inheritance? Okay, so actually protected modifiers allows a member of a base class, okay, base class is the parent class, to be accessible only in child classes. That means when you use protected modifier, only your child class can access all the properties to the parents class. Other classes cannot. Okay, only the specific child class. Okay, so the protected visibility provides more encapsulation than public visibility does. Okay, and then the protected variables and method we use we use the hash symbol when you are drawing the UML diagram for your class for your program, and then you want to show the relationship, and then you want to show the modifier that you're using for the specific class. You want to show that you use protected, you use the hash symbols. Okay, as an example here. Okay, so we have two class here. Okay, we have class person and class students extends person. Okay, we have the parents, we have the child. Okay, so class person is the parents, and then class students is child. Okay, class student extends parents. Okay, in class parents, you define the protected modifier, which is the protected string name, protected person, and protected string get name. That means all these properties only exclusively accessible by the class students extends person. Other classes cannot access that properties. So how do you show? This is how you show the protected modifier in your class diagram. So you use the hash symbol like this one, hash name string, hash person, hash get name string. Okay, and then it will be inherited by the student class using the protected modifier. Okay, and then now the private modifier. Okay, private modifier, it will not be accessible even by the child class. Okay, you can see here person class, which is the parents class. We use the private modifier for private strings and private person, private string get name. That means all of these properties are not accessible by the child class, the students class, even it extends from the person. So you can see here, we use the dash symbol. If you define the modifier as private, you use dash. Earlier, when you define using protected, you use hash symbol. All right. So it shows here none will be inherited from person class. Okay, since we define it as a private. So this we show the differences between protected and private. Okay. So when you use protected, the child class will inherit properties from parent class. But when you use private, it will not be inherited to the child class. So this is just the definition, okay? That public member is accessible to any method, and then private only to the methods that belongs to the same class, and then protected, it's accessible only to the method that belongs to the same class or to the descendant class, okay, as we showed earlier. Okay, this shows the effect. Okay, when you use public, when you use protected, when you use private. So you see here we have client and we have superclass and we also have subclass here. Okay, it shows here the public modifier is accessible by all classes. Okay, it shows only public members are accessible from outside. Others are all hidden because of the specific protected and private modifier. Okay, and then now we see inside the subclass here. All right, so subclass, it defines the public, protected, and private. Yes, it is all accessible. And then superclass here, it defines the public and protected. Okay, the public and protected for superclass is accessible by subclass here, but the private class in the superclass are not accessible. It only can be used within the superclass, not by subclass. Okay. All right. And then the third keyword in inheritance is super. Okay. So we use super is to refer to the parents class. Okay, and it often used to invoke the parents constructor or the parents method. Okay. So normally the child constructor is responsible for calling the parents constructor. Okay, parents will not call the child. Okay, parent will not use the properties from child class. Normally, the child class will use properties from parent class, and then the child have to call the parents constructor in order to use the properties from the parents class. Okay, the first, so how to call the parents constructor? We have to use the super keyword. We use the super keyword so that we can call all the parents constructors. And then the super keywords can also be used to reference other variables and methods defined in the parents class. Okay. And then to use the super keyword statement, we use supers and then bracket. And then we call the specific constructors. Okay, you have to remember you must provide the appropriate arguments when you are trying to call super keywords. Okay, when there is a call to super with 0 arguments, the parent constructor with 0 argument is called. If there are no parents constructor with 0 arguments, a compiler error will occur. Okay, so when you want to use the super arguments, you have to use in the first line of the constructor of the child. So if there are no super keywords, the compiler will automatically insert a call to the parents constructor automatically with no arguments. So that is not a good practice. Okay, as a good practice, you must always provide a constructor for every class you define. Okay, don't rely on the default constructor. If you're a good programmer, must be really particular when you write a code. Okay, for example, you write super dot the parents method that you are trying to call in order to access parents method from the child class. Okay, let's take a look at the example here. Okay, we have the two classes here, okay? Class person and class students extends person. Class person is the parents, class student extends person is the child. Okay, we are using super keyword in the child class here. We use super and then empty argument, and then another one is super name argument. So super empty is just an argument, and then the other one is the parameter matching. It shows when you use super with the name, you're calling the public person string name method from the parents class. Okay, and then how we access the parents method via the super class specifically. Okay, so when you want to actually get the method, what you have to do, you're trying to get this get name from the parents class, right? What you have to do is you write super dot get name, and it will automatically access the parents method using this keyword. So, and then in inheritance, in OOP, we have two differences. Okay, we have overriding methods, and then we have overloading method. Okay, override method normally it has same name in the same class. We will look further. Okay, a child class can override the definition of an inherited method in favor of its own, and then the new method must have the same signature, which is name and the parameters, as the parents method, but can have a different implementation. For example, you have a new method in child class, okay, and then you also have another same new method in a parent class. But these two new methods have the same name, but both have different implementation. Okay, that's what we call overriding methods. Okay, a parent's method can be invoked explicitly using the super reference, as we mentioned earlier. If a method is declared with final modifier, it cannot be overridden. So if you declare your method with final modifier, it cannot be override. So let's take a look here. All right. So we have two here. One in two name here. One in parents class. Another one in the child class. Okay. Both are returning. Both have get name. Okay. Both have this are returning the same. But if you see here, get name method in student class has different implementation from the get name method in the person's class. Even though it have the same name, but the way the implementation is different. Okay, so that is override. So in override, normally we use to hide or to shadow. So the concept of overriding can be applied to data, and it called hiding or shadowing the variables. Okay, when shadowing variables should be avoided because it tends to cause unnecessarily confusing code. So it is not advisable to use hiding or shadowing variables when you write your program. And then, okay, so now this is the example how hiding or shadowing in these classes. Okay, we have class person as the parents, and then we define name Nadal here, and then we have the other class, which is the student class, and then we define name here as a private string name Federer. And then we have a class students app. So class students app will get a name. So we are shadowing here, Federer are shadowing the Nadal here. So when you try to print the output for this code, the output shows the Federer instead of Nadal. Okay, so what is the differences between overloading and overriding? Okay, so don't get confused between these two. Okay, overloading is deals with multiple methods with the same name in the same class but have different signatures. And overriding deals with two methods, one in the parents class and one in the child class, but have the same signatures. Okay, so here is the difference between overloading and overriding. Okay, here we have class orangutan. Okay, class orangutan have two methods, which is public string orang, which with the empty parameter, and then public string orang string name. Okay, these have two similar method name but different parameter in one class. And then overriding, we have, for example, here we have class person and class student extends persons, and then both have string get name in their classes. So it shows how these two classes is overriding the method. And then let's move to the class hierarchies. Okay, class hierarchies, it shows two children of the same parents are called the siblings, okay, you have two childs now. Two childs that accessing the same parents, okay? So common features should be put as high in the hierarchy as is reasonable. An inherited member is passed continually down in the hierarchy class, and then the child class inherits from all its ancestors. Okay, if you have class A and class B, okay, class A and class B is the child, and then class C is the parents. So that means class A and class B will inherit all the methods from class C, which is the parents. On the other hand, if you have different hierarchy, for example, three hierarchy, class A at the top, class B, and class C at the bottom. So that means class C will inherit all the information from class B and class A all together. Okay, that means that's the explanation for child class inherits from all of its ancestors class. Okay, whatever parents, for it can be multiple level. Okay, it's not just one parent, one child, one parents. No, it can be multiple. It can be like different hierarchy. So the one at the bottom, which is the child, will inherit all of the parents. Okay. So an inherited member can be referenced directly by name in the child class as if it were declared in the child class. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, so the inherited members, that mean whatever methods that already declared which are not private, if it was declared protected or it was declared as public, will be inherited by the child class. Okay, but even if a method or variable is not inherited by child, it can still be accessed indirectly through parents method. Okay, so that's all for class for today. So let's go back. So I want you to do lab 4 for today. So since you are already here, do you want to continue to do lab 4? It's about chapter 4, the class diagram. So you can go to Kalam, okay, go to Kalam and download lab 4, all right, download lab 4 and then do the exercise. Once you are done, you can submit it. I will create the link for you on Kalam for the submission, all right. So at the end of the day, I will share with you the solution for lab 4. So it will help you to understand and to create your own class diagram for your assignment 1. Okay, do you guys have any questions related to class today or assignment?
For the lab, do we have lab today?
We will have lab if some of you still not understand on how to create the class diagram. I will be here for sure, but for lab 4 today, you can go ahead and do it, and then during the lab session, you can just do the submission. If you have any questions, I will be here during the lab session. You guys can join.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. You guys have any question related to previous lecture or maybe today's lecture or assignments or lab? I already upload the lab 3 solution on Kalam if you want to refer. And today, when we're done with our lab, I will also upload the Lab 4 solution so that you can refer. Anything? If there's no questions, you guys can go ahead, proceed to do the exercise for Lab 4, and then you can submit today. And then I want to let you know here, if you have anything, any question, you want to have discussion with me, feel free, just contact me. We can have a one-to-one discussion through Google Meet. Don't feel hesitant. Don't feel like don't feel hesitant. Like just come and then just we can discuss whatever problem you have. All right. Yeah, so if there's no questions, I think that's it for today. I will upload the lecture that we recorded today on the YouTube too, so you can refer in future. So that's all. Thank you for attending the class today.
Thank you, madam.
Okay.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you,
Thank you,
madam.
Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Bye. Good
Assalamualaikum.
luck with your assignment. Waalaikumsalam.